I think there's a couple different schools of thought on that. We do require the deposit to be paid per the purchase agreement, and that's within 3 days of acceptance by the seller. And I don't want to say we want skin in the game, but I guess we do. When I look at the buyer and the offer, I talk to the agent about the longevity of the buyer. Is the buyer willing to stick in there with us? And I think that's important because I have a fiduciary duty to my client that I've asked those questions of the buyer and the buyer's agent. The other thing that we do, we're just kind of starting doing this a little bit more, is if the property is such that we know that there's some issues, like needing a new roof or the septic is failing, then we are suggesting that perhaps the buyer do their inspections ahead of time, and then I am happy to take that to the lender and negotiate that. So the other thing that we do to avoid those kinds of issues once the inspections have been done is that we request an as-is addendum to be signed. The reason that we do that is so that when the buyer does their inspections and they want to nickel and dime us, now is not the time to nickel and dime us. I am not going to go back to my lender and request certain things. If you know that the property, just by looking at it, is going to need some TLC, then I urge you to do your inspections first. I will be happy to negotiate those at the get-go, but not when we're 13 to 15 days away from closing the escrow. So we do require, we always put instructions on MLS on our listings that are very clear to the selling agent, what we expect and would like. Obviously everything's negotiable, but it is the as-is addendum, the arm's length, a deposit initially is per the purchase agreement. We do like to have at least 90 days to negotiate, so if it's less than that, we will counter that. And of course we want 30 days